With a manned ground unit like that, there's a lesser chance of erroneous strikes. Plus, the legs make navigating rugged terrain a veritable walk in the park. And it would take much more than a rocket launcher to take it down. The crew couldn't be safer.
Is there really that much demand, though?
Ah, that is the question, yes. Of course, we would seem to have our answer now. If things go the way Armstrong wants them to, before too long, we could see whole herds of Excelsior trampling across Pakistan's Sparta.
Raiden! Are you okay? That's a pretty crazy Metal Gear.
Kind of a far cry from your Mark II and III, huh, Sonny?
In the end, nothing ever changes. Science always ends up being used for war.
No, it's like any weapon. It's only a tool. It's all up to who wields it. Not everyone has their own selfish agenda. Some people like you are making a difference for the better.
If only I could believe that.
Cheer up, Sonny. You have the power to bring hope to a lot of people.
Yeah, you're right.
You hear that speech? Hell of a politician.
Yeah, it's scary.
He's calling this an anti-terror war, saying he's not gonna harm any civilians.
Despite the fact that tons have been killed already in so-called wars on terror. Besides, the terror here is all fake.
Yeah.
I know it's not exactly unheard of for groups in Pakistan to terrorize the government, but, I mean, this is so ridiculous. Going on this noble quest to shoot down terrorists and restore faith in America?
What he said, though, it works.
What do you mean?
You saw the footage. Hamilton's fine, and still everyone's calling for blood. The people have spoken. They want war. And Armstrong's doing it all for the money. And for his polling numbers. Bastard will do whatever it takes to get the public on his side. I kill him, and I don't know. Then what? What's it gonna change? If the world's gonna do its own thing, either way, what's the...
Raiden, get a hold of yourself. Just because people want war, that makes it okay to start one purely for profit? For some twisted sense of pride?
No.
And let's not forget, he's trying to kill you. Look, just... How about I save your data while you get your head together? Right. Save complete. I know I can't do much more than that, Raiden. But just try to get back alive, okay?
Raiden, you okay?
Yeah. Just wasn't expecting that, that's all. They didn't need to kill Hamilton at all for Tecumseh to work. Fabricating an assassination attempt was all they really needed to do.
Yeah, I should have guessed considering the political climate in the US. Ever since the Occupy movement, Wall Street's been manipulating the media. You know, scapegoating foreign interests in order to divert the public's attention.
Which played a part in the Patriot memes, just like he was saying.
Probably. If being an American's the only thing you've got to be proud of, it's easy to just start blaming non-Americans for all the problems you have to deal with.
And it's not just a US thing either. You've seen how anti-immigration all the first world nations are these days. The whole "they took our jobs" bit. It's an easy story to swallow.
The Patriots spreading their memes worldwide. That's how Armstrong had probably put it. And, just like he said, materialism runs rampant among the financial elite. They see exploiting the poor as a sign of their success. They entered businesses that accomplish nothing for anyone besides themselves. I mean, it's a fact that manufacturing jobs have been drained from first world countries, immigration or not. That's not the immigrants' fault. It's the fault of the bankers and the financiers. The folks who pressed for globalization so they could pad their quarterly figures.
Yeah, pretty obvious if you take a sec to think about it.
That's harder than you think, you know. Getting an objective picture of what's really going on? Hell of a lot easier to passively accept other people's opinions and standards. Still, the memes that get spread around can be good and bad in equal measures. It's our job to pick the good ones and spread those around a little more.
Sure is. But before that...
Yeah. Think you can stop him?
No matter what.
Raiden, that tank is from AT Corp, codename Metal Gear Excelsior.
Metal Gear.
It's not nuclear equipped, but Metal Gear is still in the product name.
Fancy. That's just a PR thing then, huh?
Perhaps. The term was coined because they were meant to serve as gears. Gears linking infantry with weaponry, duh?
I guess Ray didn't have any nukes either.
Duh. It will be useless as a tactical weapon with that sort of equipment. Once we entered the era of asymmetrical warfare after the Cold War, the idea of a deterrent force fell out of fashion.
Right, because people preferred weapons that could actually be used to kill people.
Yes, I would guess they call it Metal Gear to separate it from smaller Walker-type UGs. Excelsus means high or lofty. It is also the species name of Apatosaurus, the dinosaur.
Apatosaurus? That used to be Brontosaurus, right? It's definitely big enough. But why do they have one? I'm sure they can afford it, but I thought the whole point of Tecumseh was to shift the blame away from World Marshal.
It is smokescreen, I think. Part of this op must be to disguise the source of their funding. I know Desperado makes good money, but this is not a thing thugs like that could purchase. I think the purpose is to make this incident seem bigger and more elaborate than it really is. With this, it appears like more than a simple Pakistani border group supporting Desperado. It suggests that ISI is involved, or maybe terrorists from an OPEC nation. It will lead to war, a world war, one with two very distinct sides for a change.
Christ, and that asshole Armstrong calls it a war on terror.
If the Western nations begin chasing down terrorists, they will respond in kind, just as before. And before long, Western civilians will once again become targets. Can you stop it, Ryder?
Don't know, but I gotta try.
If you're not with America, Jack, you're a
What's wrong? Answer me! Raiden! Raiden! supposed to be stronger than this.